and welcome to another edition of DSU Inside Perspective. I'm Carlos Holmes, and today we're going to be talking about the country of China, a country that a lot of people are paying attention to as it has kind of evolved into a world power, an emerging world power. And a lot of people are thinking in terms of what is the relationship between the United States and China. To talk about this today, we have Dr. Yinghong Cheng. He's a full professor here at Delaware State University in history. And he's also an expert on China, which is understandable because he's a native of China. Dr. Cheng, welcome to the show today.
Carlos.
You know, with China, it seems to me that there are a lot of common interests between the People's Republic of China and the United States. What are some of those common interests?
Well, there are many. As global powers, China and the United States, they do share a number of the interest on the common ground. For example, the economic interdependency, the global and the regional security concerns, and the environmental issues. So I think these are some important points of common concerns shared by United States and China, and they have been working together on all of these issues.
But now back around 2007, China began infusing a lot of money into its military to upgrade its military, and this caused some concerns all over the world. And they have one of the top militaries in the world right now. Is this something the U.S. should be concerned about?
Well, of course, the United States should be concerned about that. But the point is not the weapon itself, but in whose hands. So as you know, China still claims itself as a socialist country, and the ruling party still calls it a communist party. So by very definition, communism means to end global capitalism, democracy, free market, and free enterprises of all of those things. So as long as China, the Chinese Communist Party still calls itself an anti-capitalist, anti-Western party. So the United States should have every reason to worry about the significant growth of Chinese military power. And once again, weapon is not a point itself. Look at India. India had a couple more aircraft carrier. China had none a couple of years ago. So I think, but United States and many countries around the world were not worried about India at all. So I think that's the point.
Now we have the situation going on with North Korea right now, and their nuclear aims. And the United States is very concerned about this, and they've been looking to China to kind of exert some of its influence on this situation. Is China in a position to kind of help, kind of diffuse this situation with North Korea?
Well, I think the answer is yes and no. Actually, China faces a international relation dilemma in this situation. That means, on the one hand, China, like any country in this world, does not like any of its neighbors to have nuclear weapons, especially those restless, unpredictable regimes to have these type of weapons in their hands. So, of course, China is opposed North Korea to have or further develop that capacity. But on the other hand, China sees nuclear weapon in North Korea as a card in its hand, which could be played with the United States, which means North Korea has a nuclear weapon or North Korea is developing nuclear weapon. That is something United States needs China to resolve. So for that reason, I think China wants to keep North Korea the nuclear weapon.
Real quickly.
But to a point, of course.
Okay. Real quickly, there is a Japanese island by the name of Dioya, which China and Japan are currently involved in a dispute over the ownership of that island. The United States has clearly made it known that their alliances with China is this something that could possibly cause a big problem between China and the United States?
It is a very sensational, very sensitive issue in East Asian international politics, especially between China and Japan. China sees the U.S. position as anti-China and pro-Japan for a number of reasons. The number of reasons, one is the transfer of those islands were made through the United States to Japan in the post-World War II arrangement. That's reason number one. Reason number two is the United States included that area in the perimeter of Japan-U.S. military alliance. So, and the reason number three, United States insists to preserve the status quo of that area, which means a pro-Japan stand. So, and the reason number four is China for some reason sees U.S. policy towards that disputed islands as one specific step to contain China's international expansion. So for all of these reasons, the issue has a potential danger in the China-U.S. relations.
Well, we're going to continue monitoring that, and we're going to continue monitoring everything else that's going on with Chinese U.S. relations. And we might have to call you back again to talk
Sure,
some
my
more
pleasure.
About it. And thank you for being a part of another edition of the DSU Inside Perspective. See you next time.
Thank you.
I think that worked out real good.